Hi there. We're continuing our journey through the Psalms, the Tehillim, the praises, and we're continuing our journey in Psalm 68, Psalm Samechet in Hebrew. That means 60 and 8, and we're looking at verses 19 to the end of the Psalm, the verse 35. So this is a psalm, as we saw, that is set in the context of what God has done for his people, how he's brought them out of Egypt, how he's led them through the desert, brought them into the promised land, and brought them into triumph. And it's likening what's happening now, the new things that are happening in the times of David and the kings, the new worship, with what went in the past. And so this beautiful verse in verse 19, blessed be God who loads us down with blessings, who loads us down with benefits, the God of our rescue. And he is the God of our deliverance, and he even allows us to escape from death. He says, to God belongs the way out of death itself. So this is an amazing God who can even rescue from the chains of death itself. But it says that God will not allow the enemies to triumph. He will be hard on them. He will come down on them because they are standing against his people. And so he says that just as before, when God brought down Og, king of Bashan, the old king that Israel overcame, so he will do that again, and he will bring his people out of their troubles, out of the depths of the sea, says the singer here, referring back to when God led them through the Red Sea, so that they can overcome their enemies, and they can see their enemies completely overwhelmed. Because they've seen God, they've seen you, that your enemies know what you're like, Israel. They've seen you moving forward, and they've seen how you have this new way of worshipping, the singers, the dancers, the people who are, the women who are playing drums. Just picture this, that the enemies are looking on and they're seeing this people who are worshipping exuberantly before God. This is what puts the fear into the enemies. They see people who are completely taken up in the worship of their God. And so he's calling, the singer's calling on the people to bless God, because he is the fountain of Israel. He is the one from whom everything comes. And then he says, look at the princes, look at the leaders who are coming from the different tribes. There's little Benjamin, it says, the smallest tribe, the tribe that was nearly destroyed in the time of the judges. They are coming with their leader. There's Judah, the tribe that represents redemption. There's Zebulun, there's Naphtali from the north. There's this amazing display of God's power through his people. And it says God has commanded his strength. And because of the temple at Jerusalem, because this temple has been built, kings are going to come. Remember the story of Solomon and the Queen of Sheba coming to check out the wisdom of Solomon, and she saw all the beauty of what had been done there, the beauty of the temple. And so this temple, the place where God has set his name, is becoming something that the nations look to, and God will push back the enemy, and he's actually going to come to a place where the nations are going to come to Jerusalem, where they're going to come to worship God. It says there will come the leaders of Egypt, the leaders of Ethiopia will come, and they will reach out their hands to God. What an amazing vision the singer has here of nations, not just Israel, but Israel and the nations coming to worship God. So no wonder he says, sing to God, sing praises to the Lord, and think about that. And let's have a pause for music, a Selah moment. And then he goes back to that theme of God who rides in the heavens, God who lives on the clouds, as it were. It says his strength is in the clouds. Remember the cloud by day, the fire by night, that when the cloud of God comes, it signifies his heavy glory, it signifies his kavod, signifies his gravity. And then the last verse actually says, you are terrible, you are awesome, God. Norah, the word in Hebrew, it's a powerful word. Norah means awesome. You are wonderful in your holy places. The God of Israel has given strength and power to his people. And then Baruch Elohim, blessed be God, those last words. What an amazing paean of praise this is. to God, and the story of his taking hold of this little people, this people who just chose to trust him, and bringing them through the storms and through the difficulties, establishing them in praise and worship. And we who follow Messiah, we who follow Israel's Messiah, Jesus, are grafted into that commonwealth. We're grafted into those promises, and so we are also called to praise and worship him today. Have a good day.